How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another episode of Couples Coverage. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano, and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, Stephanie Abonce. Babe, how's your day been going?
It's going good. Just getting some last minute things, getting vacation ready.
Yeah, vacation ready. You want to show them off the nails? Did you get the nails redone or touched up?
Got the nails done, yeah. Touched up a little bit. I went yesterday, and they kind of got chipped literally in one day, which is not good. But they were really nice, and they fixed it up for me. But honestly, I feel like this was inspired by the Barbie movie.
Oh, they are pink, yeah.
Very pink lately.
Yeah, it was a interesting movie. I don't know if I'd see it again. It's not that I hated it or anything, but
it was like a one-time watch for you.
It was a one-time watch, I think. Like Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie.
Understood the message,
of course. But yeah, that's like a one-time thing. And there's some other movies that we need to go see. But that's not the topic for today's show, because when this episode actually goes out, we will actually be on the road.
Away from each other
in different places.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, where you're going.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know if you want to share that right now, but this whole episode's all about traveling and everything that goes into it, what we love about it, our experiences with it. So we're going to get into all that, but before we do, you have to go you have to go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Couples Coverage. We're on Spotify, so you can find us there if you just want to listen to the audio version, so you can download your episodes, subscribe to the podcast there. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and I think it's, we're constantly pushing out different content, so make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. And of course, if you follow us individually, we'll probably be posting about Couples Coverage on there as well. But definitely go, leave a comment on this video. We want to know where you've been to, some of your experiences with traveling. And
where you want to go.
Where you want to go. That's a good one, too. I really like that.
Yeah.
But, so you can tell everybody where you'll be when this episode publishes next week.
Yeah. When this episode comes out, I will be in Mexico. I'm so excited. It's going to be like Cancun area, but we're also going to go to Tulum. And then a couple other spots. I honestly don't really know all the details of this one because this is a family trip. And I'm kind of like, I don't really ask too many questions. I'm going to be in Mexico. I'm going to have a great time. So I guess I'll see what happens when we're there.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're going on this family trip. You get to hang out with your sisters, your mom and dad, and be somewhere nice and warm, even though it's obviously warm here in the Chicagoland area. But that'll be an awesome trip for you.
It will be, yeah.
Where I'm going, I probably wouldn't be wearing this outfit right here.
Can we talk about this, though? Like, we're bringing all the color on this episode today. And I don't think I've seen this shirt before, but I've never seen this set together. And this is just a full vibe right here.
Yeah, I don't even know. Oh, yeah, maybe you can see my shorts here, but it all matches here. But where I'm going, I probably wouldn't wear this. I'm going to Indianapolis, and we'll be there from Wednesday all the way till Sunday morning to go cover the Bears-Colts preseason game. They have a couple practices, so that's why I'll be there in the middle of the week. But I obviously it's always a good opportunity to kind of get away and kind of do something different from like what I've been doing, training camp every day at House Hall in Lake Forest. So it's going to be a cool opportunity, but yeah, this attire probably wouldn't fit in Indianapolis.
If you want to stand out, you can wear that in Indy.
I could. It would be better if I was going to Mexico wearing this. This would be more, I think, acceptable, but yeah, that's where I'm going. And like you said, you're going to Mexico. So both going away and completely different trips. Your vacation,
just
kind
aligned.
of a work trip, but yeah, still so grateful for both.
But somehow, for some reason, it always aligns. Like, our travel dates always align, and it's such a coincidence because we don't plan it that way. Because I've gone on work trips before that somehow align with where he has to go to. Not the same places, but, like, we both end up being away at the same time. And it's kind of nice that way because then it doesn't feel like, oh, someone's just at home and the other one's away.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that it has lined up like that because... as we'll get into it, like I do a bunch of traveling, especially on weekends for short trips, and I'll be gone, and there's some times where you're also gone too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll get all into it. But I know you have your crafted, strategically put outline. So what's first? Where are we getting into?
So obviously this episode's all about travel. So I kind of want to like go into what kind of travel people we are. You're obviously a lot more experienced than I am. But I think I've gotten better just because I've been doing a lot more traveling this past year. But yeah, what kind of like airport person are you?
So I think over the years, I'm very strategic. I'm very like I need to get there early, and I know how to navigate my way through an airport and get to where I need to be on time. And so I think that just over the years, like my parents, they work at O'Hare, so there's been a lot of traveling, and we would do maybe shorter trips, so we would be there maybe more frequently. But now with the job and what I do, like I'm just very, I don't know, methodical how I kind of approach it. I know what to bring. I usually overpack though, but I'll know exactly where I need to go. And the known traveler, is that what it's called? The known traveler number? Basically you can go TSA. Oh. Is it TSA? TAS?
TSA pre-check?
There you go. TSA pre-check. I should know this because I travel a lot, but that is the way to go if you're someone loves, if you're a frequent traveler. You do that, kind of skip through the line. You get to keep the shoes on. You don't have to take out the electronics because that's always the most annoying part. And then kind of get through on your way and be out and about and onto your flight. But yeah, I think I'm, business approach, I guess, going through the airport.
Yeah, you're really good. No, you're good at packing. I always feel like I have to start packing a couple days before, and I have to make a whole list of things because a lot of times when I have taken trips before, I always realize I forget something, or like a charger, little things that you just don't realize you need in your everyday routine. Toothbrush, I've forgotten toothbrush so many times because I usually brush my teeth like before I head out anywhere. So it's always like the last thing, and then I forget to actually pack it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm very like thought out. I need a plan. I need to start a couple days before. I usually overpack too. I also have like a very bad trait that whenever I travel, I want to get like new clothes. I just want to get like a bunch of new stuff.
I get that. Actually, yeah, no, that's okay. Maybe if it's like an actual trip, like a vacation, yes, I do want to get like a new button-down shirt or some new shorts or whatever. But I do get that. You just wanna feel right when you're on vacation.
I wanna feel right. I always pack so much, but then it's like, I know sometimes I've gotten things specifically for a trip, and then once you're there, it's almost like that doesn't really matter. Either you're going somewhere and you're just like thinking about having fun, or maybe it's hotter than you expected and you don't get to wear like half the stuff you wear. True. Because most times you're just going to be in like as minimal clothes as possible. Yeah,
no, I get that. Like you can pack a bunch of dress shirts if you're going somewhere hot, but you got the tank tops, you got just the thin t-shirt. It's probably the way to go. And you do it with good intentions when you bring those stuff. Maybe we'll go out to dinner, and we do, but it's like, you're probably good with just like the minimal stuff that you bring most times.
Yeah. There's been times where I'm such a dress girl. I love my dresses.
You're wearing one right now.
I'm wearing one right now. But there's been times where I get like a nice dress specifically for a trip or something, and I don't get to wear it, and then we'll use it as an excuse to like go have a nice date somewhere.
Yeah, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's fine. I think I do that because when I was younger, my family used to always take a trip to Mexico during the holidays, and we would go for like 2 weeks at a time. Yeah. And we only saw that family like once a year. So my mom would always go and like get us all new clothes. So I think that's why now for trips, I feel like I need new clothes.
It was ingrained in you when you were smaller.
It was ingrained in me.
But okay, so it's interesting you say like the 2 week thing, because we used to do that when I was smaller. Like it would be a longer trip, go to Mexico, see family and things like that. But now, I think since I've gotten older, it's more like max maybe 1 week, 5 days, something like that. And that's kind of, for me, that's where I sit comfortable, like on a vacation. Yeah. It's usually a little bit shorter, like the 2 weeks. I don't remember the last time I went on that, and that seems like a crazy amount of time. But I know you're definitely different.
Yeah. Well, thinking back, when it was a 2 weeks vacation in Mexico, there was times where it's like, okay, what do we do? Like another day, what do you do? Especially because we weren't going to somewhere where you're having excursions or visiting cool places. We were just in our little like town in Mexico. Yeah. There's not much to do there, but it was nice just being able to like spend time with my grandparents and seeing that family that I don't really ever get to see as much.
No, that's a good point.
But yeah, honestly, I feel like 2 weeks is a long time unless you're going to somewhere where you're like visiting multiple places at a time.
Yeah, we haven't really had that experience yet.
No, not yet.
But in the future, like as I asked you guys to put in the comments, or you did, to where you want to go, there's a bunch of places that we want to go that we'll probably have to take that approach when we want to go travel. Just kind of staying on that topic of like having shorter trips with what I do, like throughout the season. I go to road games, so I get to visit all these cool stadiums, these cities and stuff, and I really love that. Even though it's like a quick experience for wherever I may be going, it's kind of a new experience. You get to see these cities, these stadiums, and see like the environment around them. And I always try to like one local place like to go get food that you obviously can't get back home, just so I can make the most out of any work trip that I go on. Mm-hmm. So I do really enjoy that, the quick hitting. Oh, this week I'll be in Kansas City, Los Angeles. So I need to start game playing now for what I want to maybe go check down whenever I go to all those places. So it's always a cool experience to do that. And I'm really appreciative that I get to go to all these different NFL stadiums, check it out, and then, quick turnaround, come back home. But it's always really cool.
It's really quick. So what do you think's been your favorite so far?
Ooh, favorite place? I
have a favorite place. I haven't even gone there, but favorite place that you've gone to. Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. To answer your first one, my favorite stadium has been Minnesota, but I'm trying to think where. So I got to go visit Las Vegas one year. That's a good question. I don't.
Can I say the one I thought?
Yeah. Where are you thinking?
I thought you were gonna say Seattle.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was for a preseason game.
And that one looked fun because I remember you did get a day to explore and you went through the fish market.
That was actually a really fun game.
Yeah.
Actually, so thinking about it, that might be up there.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, I get a new favorite from all the places we're going to. I was gonna say Denver, but I didn't do that for the game. We went to Denver for like a quick weekend trip. Yeah. Talking about those quick weekend trips, you could do a lot in a weekend.
Yeah.
But I think Denver is one of the places that we visited that I think
on a whim.
On a whim, we just went and we had a fantastic time.
Oh
but if we had more time, that would have been awesome too.
I'd go back in a heartbeat. It was so beautiful. I've always heard great things about Colorado, but it's never been one of those places that's like up there on my travel list. So it was just like a beautiful surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew it was gorgeous, but it was even more beautiful in person, and it was so nice. Like we went during Christmas time.
Yeah,
so cute.
The hiking was like it's something that you can't get really here too much when you're in the mountains, and there's parts where obviously it's warmer and then there's still ice on the ground, but it's not super cold when we went.
Yeah.
But it was in like their city, we were in Boulder. I think that's right. And like their city was.
We went to Boulder. I don't think we were there though.
We drove through it, and then I thought we hiked through it. Maybe
we did.
Maybe we did.
I don't know.
It reminded me a lot, like their town reminded me a lot of like Iowa City, where I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like a small town feel, but then you have these giant mountains in the background, which is a lot different than Iowa. But it was really cool, and like you said, I would love to go back to Denver.
It was beautiful. I just love being anywhere that has big mountains.
Yeah,
I'm a big mountain girl.
You're a big mountain girl, yeah.
I just get so excited. I don't know why. I think because I just feel so like small, and I'm like, damn, this world is just so like crazy and beautiful. And we don't have that here. Like we live in Illinois, like the flattest state ever.
It's pretty flat. Got some hills.
But nothing like that. But anyways, I just want to go back and talk about like rituals. I know you've told me, but I don't know if you want to share with people. There's like certain things that you do before you travel.
Yeah, well, so there are a couple things that I do. One, I got to make sure that I'm wearing both my necklaces here that my grandfather gave me.
What would you call that? Like, is it not superstition, but it's like you have to do this before you travel?
Maybe it is superstition or ritual,
yeah.
But I always need to make sure, and they're always around my neck. I never take these off, but just got to make sure I have them on before I go on the airplane, and then I'll do the sign of the cross before we take off. I have to do that before we take off. Every single plane I've been on, got to do it before.
Yeah.
And then for work trips, you got me like a little, like, I don't even know how to, literally the bag's
right here. It's like a keychain, I guess. Do you want to show it? Hold.
Okay. That's right. Oh, bag's opening up. So basically, make sure I get in the mic here, but you got me this for, was it?
I think it might have been like a birthday gift or something.
Yeah, so it has you, me, and you probably can't see this, and our awesome little doggy Brady. But
you're gonna have to zoom into the camera.
Yeah, well.
Or maybe get closer to the camera.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, here we go.
So cute.
So yeah, when I'm in the like terminal, right before you're about to board, or I don't even think that's the right word, terminal. But the bridge essentially, right before you get on the plane, I always gotta open it up, and just rub it. I just rub it and then go on and get on the flight, and yeah, those are kind of the two that I do like every single time. That, like I said, that one's for work,
so
and then
cute. I remember
like,
when you told me
across,
that,
yeah.
I was like, wait, that is so cute. And I was like, I want one that I can run. I think it says drive safe, we love you on the back, but now you use it to fly, so it doesn't really make the most sense.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But no, I always do that. So do you have anything?
Cute.
Do you do anything before flights?
I usually do like a prayer
Okay.
before flights. I used to get very nervous for flights. So we used to, as a family, always road trip. I know I mentioned going to Mexico with my family. We used to always road trip. It was like a 2-day road trip. I don't know how in the world we did that, because we just took like a 4-hour road trip, and I was like, just put me on a plane.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was like 2 days. So when we started traveling as a family on flights, my parents get very like anxious. They want to be there exactly like 2 hours before, if not even earlier. My dad's like one of those airport dads. Like, he wants to make sure, like, where's your passport? Like, he wants to make sure everyone's good. And so I think for a while, being in the airport gave me a lot of anxiety. Like, I don't want to be late. I want to make sure I'm at the right place. And obviously I've gotten better, but yeah, I think my little ritual is just like making sure I'm calm, go into it like mentally prepared, do a little prayer, and then it's fine. Honestly, it's like so easy. I don't know why my parents get so anxious about it.
Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that your dad's like the airport dad. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like when we go on trips, I take that role. It's like, do you have your passport? Make sure it's on your phone.
You give me anxiety when we travel, because I'm like, I got it. It's good. We're fine.
I just like to be like, I like if I'm that person, when I get up there and you have to show your ID and your passport, it's already out there. When the people who know they're about to go and approach the gate or whatever, about to do this, and they don't have anything ready, it's like, it drives me nuts sometimes. Like, be ready. You know what you're doing.
See, but this is why people get anxiety, because they know everyone's like so quick to get mad at you. Security, always ready to yell at you.
Chicago's got they got some issues with some people there. It doesn't matter. It can be like their happiest day, but as soon as they enter the airport and start doing their job, it's like,
oh my gosh,
let's turn to a different level.
You think we would live? You know how like people say, I guess I don't really know what Chicagoans like reputation is. Like, are we known to be nice? Or I feel like sometimes we get like New York vibes. Like, people are just like, will say it how it is. Very straightforward. Because
say it how it is, yeah.
I swear I've been like perfectly good at the airport, and I'll still get yelled at by security.
They they have a tough job, obviously trying to make sure everything's in line, but yeah, maybe we can line up just a tad there. But yeah.
But what about, like, is there any bad experiences that you've ever had at the airport?
I think the only, like, bad experiences when I would fly standby. And I would fly standby. Again, I mentioned earlier that my parents, they work at the airport, so I would do a lot of standby things. I was still trying to cover the bears and try to get on flights to go do certain stuff.
Can you explain, maybe for those people who don't know, what standby is?
Essentially, it's like you have a low priority, but you have a free seat on the plane, and you can get on there if the seats are available, and you know, you just gotta check in, see how the flight's looking and stuff. And for most of the times I've been able to get on flights, but the issue with flying standby, and that I've experienced a couple times, that when one flight gets canceled and they're going to the same place you're going to, they'll put some of those people on that original flight that got canceled on the next flight, and that's where I've gotten screwed over a couple times. Booted off and had to wait. Like, I was trying to I went from Chicago to Dallas, then I was trying to go to Dallas to Denver. I think that's right. And when the flights got canceled, I ended up having to sleep in the Dallas airport and then had to fly out to Denver the morning of. I was supposed to go cover a Bears practice. Ended up getting there at 5 a.m. The practice was at 7. It was a thing, but
Stressful.
it's just one of the things you have to deal with if you do fly standby. And it wasn't. I mean, it was a little uncomfortable sleeping on like the airport chair, but as you know, I can knock out anywhere.
I was just going to say that this man has no issue knocking out anywhere. He can knock out like this, just with his head down.
Just start bobbing.
So you'd be fine. Anyways, like traveling standby, that's still such a blessing. So like if there's an inconvenience, like what can you do? You're still flying for free.
Yeah. So we're still flying for free. I think my buddy Ben and I went to New Orleans for his birthday. We were doing like the whole standby thing. One of our flights got canceled and, it was a thing. And then we had to get on a different flight, but we were still able to go from Chicago to New Orleans and then New Orleans to Chicago back. It took a little bit longer, but that's, again, one of the perks, but you just got to know not the consequences, but what could happen if things go wrong.
Speaking of this New Orleans trip that you took with Ben, do you remember when we first started talking? I think, I can't remember if it was, we agreed to go on our first date. We set a date and then you said, hey, sorry, you're going to have to reschedule because last minute me and my friend are going to New Orleans. And then you said you owed me.
Did I owe you? Did I guess give whatever I need to give to you back? Was it time or did we go on a date afterwards? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we did. We rescheduled. I just can't remember if it was like our first date or our second date. I think it might have been our second date. We had already hung out and then you said, hey, I'm really sorry. No, we had plans, but last minute. And that's usually how it is with these trips, standby trips. It's like last minute if flights are good.
Yeah, I think we just found out like, hey, it's available, and we got to meet up with our friend Adam down there. So it was a fun, spontaneous trip, and obviously, I made it up to you, and we're here doing a podcast, episode 4. So
episode 4. Go listen to our last one, by the way, if you haven't.
Yeah, we got to get the views up on episode 3, work-life balance. Maybe it's a little stressful topic to talk about, but definitely go check it out, see what your experiences are like and what ours are like and the things we had to share there. I know we have a couple more things on there, babe, but I think we should tell everybody about our good partners that we actually have down here. So if you've been listening to the Couples Coverage podcast, you know that Owen is a good partner with us. And if you're looking for a new protein shake, something that's plant-based, vegan-friendly, has 0 carbs, non-GMO, 100% gluten-free, 100% vegan, non-dairy, obviously being with plant-based, Owen's going to be the way to go. They have a bunch of awesome flavors. They taste great. Perfect for a post-workout, just shake, or they have meal supplements as well. They have powders that you can use if you like to do that. But we like the pre-made shakes where you can just open it up, start drinking, and be good to go. And what's cool with Owen and Couples Coverage, if you use the code CC15 at checkout, you actually save 15% off your first order. So what I recommend, you just stock up on all your Owen products. Just get a big order, use that CC15 at checkout, save 15% off, and from that purchase, a little bit will come back to us, which will help support what we're doing here at Couples Coverage. But make sure you check out Owen. Use the code CC15 at checkout to save 15% off your first order.
Thanks, Owen.
Always. Actually, I already had mine today.
I need to have one still. All right. So now I want to talk about our first trip together.
Let's do it.
So our first trip together, we did an all-inclusive in Mexico, actually.
Wow, you're not going to mention the trip to Iowa?
That's
a trip. We drove and
actually that's true. You're right.
We went to a football game. So that was a good time.
You're right. That was so fun. Honestly, a lot of my firsts when it comes to big sporting events have been with you. Mm-hmm. And that was so cool to me. I have never seen, as I mentioned, I think on our first episode, I commuted all of college and I didn't go to a big university like you did. Mm-hmm. So just seeing it and being in a college town in a place where like everyone has so much school spirit and everyone was so excited. I was like, wow, I really missed out. So now I like live through you when it comes to the college experience. Yeah,
we got to go to Kinnick Stadium, watch the Iowa Hawkeyes play. I believe they won that game. I don't even honestly remember. But we got to be part of the wait. I think Yeah, that was a part of the wave. Yeah. Because when I was in school, they didn't have that tradition, but I think it's the best tradition in all of college sports right now. There's a hospital that overlooks a stadium. At the end of the first quarter, you wave
Everyone
to the children.
Waves to the kids who are watching.
It's really powerful. It's really powerful.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
That's probably one of the most like memorable things too.
Yeah, no doubt.
When it comes to the games.
When you see that, it's really cool. But okay, let's go to our first long trip that we went to. That, as you were kind of talking about before, I had to bring up the Iowa Hawkeyes and our trip there.
That's okay. That was a fun trip too. Yeah, so our first one was an all-inclusive in Mexico. You know what's funny? For some reason, whenever we go to a resort, we're like, let's go explore, let's go walk around, and we end up going like the complete opposite way and like leaving the resort entirely.
That is
like,
true.
How did
yeah,
we do that? We did that in DR too.
Yeah, we did. Yep. I don't know how we do it. Maybe we just need better sense of direction. I have no idea, but we somehow did it.
Yeah. But that was a really fun one. Our first trip together. I remember being a little bit nervous to just be away for the first time, travel with you. For the most part, very excited. I think that was also my first all-inclusive.
Yeah, I think we did some with my family, but yeah, I mean, that all-inclusive was really cool. Didn't they have the little pina colada bar, like, right next to that one beach over to the left side where you can get, I don't know, there was like
a swim-up bar?
Not a swim-up bar, because it was in the sand and you had to walk up to it.
Oh, as soon as we got there?
Yeah, as soon as we got there.
Like landed? Yeah, because there were shuttles taking you to the
That's right, yeah.
resort, and there was a bar there while you waited, I think. Yeah.
And they had that nice lookout, too, where we have that one picture, I think that's in our bedroom, where it's like where you can eat food, and there's like a lookout over into like the ocean.
Yes.
That was a really cool place. I mean, that was like right on our where we were staying, but it was still a really nice view.
You know what's something else I remember from this trip? So, my Hispanic boyfriend here does not speak Spanish.
No.
I'm going to call you out. I'm sorry.
No.
But the point is, they see us, Hispanic couple, they like talk to you in Spanish, and I just see how like clueless you are. And I had to keep saving you.
Didn't I get picked up by some superhero or something like that? Remember? And then they wanted money for like flipping me over upside down.
So in Mexico, if you've ever been to the more like touristy areas, there's a lot of people who will dress up to take pictures, and you give them what you can. But I don't think we were even carrying like too much cash on us. And sometimes they will literally like grab you before you can say no. And then it's like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do if like I don't have cash, because it's kind of like they put you in that position, and then like you might not always have something on you to give them. It's kind of awkward, but I think for the most part you do, unless you like actually want a picture. It's just best to sometimes avoid, because
or sometimes you just can't avoid it.
Sometimes you just can't avoid, because he got picked up by two characters. I think it was like Batman and someone else, and they flipped you upside down.
I was like, what is going on here?
For the picture. It was for a picture. But I just remember you couldn't really do much about it. You were just like, okay, pose for this picture.
Upside down. I don't have anything for you. And
yeah, I know.
But yeah, I kind of felt bad. But then I'm like, I didn't ask for this. So I didn't ask to get put upside down. So I don't know what to do.
We're going to have to insert that picture right here.
Do we have
it? Huh?
You have it?
I think I have to have it somewhere.
All right, they'll have to edit that in there.
Yeah. But yeah, the Spanish part, it was very, I loved it, because when I go to somewhere that's like Spanish speaking, I get to practice it a lot more.
I depend on you, so that's...
You depend on me.
Because I feel like...
Oh, boy.
Like, when we do go on trips, like, you'll kind of rely on me to, like...
Yeah.
Navigate things and, just figure things out sometimes. But when it comes to like actually like the language barrier, that's all you.
I got it.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. You do got me, because I don't got myself on that. So, yeah.
Yeah. But then like, okay, so I guess for us, the type of travelers that we are, we love to do like excursions. I don't know, for the most part, honestly, it's hard for us to sit still for a long period of time when we have gone to somewhere where there's a beach, we'll go and we'll lay for a little bit. But we're like, okay, what's next? Like, what do we do?
True.
I feel like it's hard for us to sit still, and we want something fun to go do, or exploring or walking around. So I think for the most part, we're very like, I don't know.
Is it active or just wanting to try different experiences? Like that was the one with the underground water cave, or no?
No, that was DR.
That was DR. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I completely agree with that. Like being on the beach is fun.
Yeah.
And it's great because I mean, when you're out there somewhere else where it's hot and they have nice beaches, you got to take advantage. But like I do want to go do like zip lining or underwater caves or something that is different and that you're gonna remember.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with that. Like again, I do enjoy those other things for a little bit, but I do like to do I guess I don't know, just activities really when you're somewhere new.
I know. I wish that I could be like that girl who'll go to the beach and like read a book, but honestly I just can't. I need to be doing something. Or if I'm reading somewhere like publicly, I feel like I get distracted.
Start people watching or
people watching.
Yep.
I love people. That's one of my favorite things to do is people watch.
Yeah.
When you're in different countries, not like in an obvious, like nosy way, but just like people just living their lives here. They have a whole like life here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we were in Philadelphia for a weekend, and we did not. So we didn't see the alligator. That came out afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Someone's just walking their alligator. It's like what? That's weird.
I think wasn't it an emotional support alligator or something? It was something crazy like that.
That's weird, but cool at the same time. Like, oh look, he's got an alligator. When we saw, I think it was the day we left. Someone was walking through with their emotional support alligator.
Love Park.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Philly, I'll be there end of this month again.
And I'll be in Vegas when you're in Philly.
Yep. So,
see, it always lines up somehow.
Yeah.
Which is always cool.
It is always cool. Okay, so then speaking of like excursions and stuff, I do want to talk about DR since we mentioned it, because we did get to do a lot of different excursions on this trip, and it was so fun.
Yeah, that one was awesome. I really like the zip lining.
The zip lining was fun.
The zip lining was really, really cool, where it wasn't just one big zip line, it was multiple zip lines as you're going up like a mountain kind of.
You have to like hike your way to the next one, and it goes higher and higher up.
Yeah, and you had to get like on all fours, climb up a ladder, and go through all these zip lines. And I remember I had my recording sunglasses and just pressed record and was like seeing all this awesome view as you're kind of going down these zip lines. But that was really cool.
That was cool. We also did the cenotes, the big sinkholes. Swimming in those was really fun.
The Bat Cave, right?
We explored through a cave.
The Bat Cave.
The Bat Cave. And it's cool because then you kind of learn about like their history a little bit. I know when we went through that underground cave, they were telling us that there was like rituals performed there.
Oh yeah.
Or like sacrifices or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sacrifices.
It's creepy.
That was creepy. Did we even see any bats? We went during the day.
I don't think we saw any bats.
In a cave, obviously it's dark, but yeah, we didn't see any bats.
We didn't see any bats.
I think we saw their poop.
I think so, yeah. You're literally walking around with one of those like hard hats with
the little flashlight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. So cool. And then what else did we do on this trip? We swam in an underground cave.
We did. That water was cold.
That water was really cold.
But it was really cool though. Really, really cool.
I want to get over that, not fear, but one of my biggest things, like I take extremely hot showers. And I think it's just made anything other than like my scalding hot water feel very cold to me. So I want to get over that. I want to get over it because yes, going to like the beach, I want to be able to go in there without feeling like, oh, this is freezing cold.
No, I get that. Yeah, I'm definitely not a hot shower. Like really, really hot shower like you. That's not my thing. Not my thing.
I just love it. It's like a big warm hug.
A big warm hug.
Yeah.
I guess so. What else did we do on that trip?
On that trip?
I mean, those were the big things, like that excursion event-filled day, but I don't were there any other excursions that we didn't mention? I mean,
no, the zip line. We did go to one of those like cool parks where they had a bunch of different like water
Oh, that's
water,
right. Yeah.
like rides.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. They had like the
swing.
the swing thing where you can kind of jump off of it, right?
Yeah, you let go and
I
stuff.
I don't think I didn't do that.
No.
No.
There was one time where I went to I think this was like one of the times I went to Mexico with my family, and we did do one of like the sinkholes, and I've always wanted to dive, like jump off a cliff into water. Just a little like FYI, I can't swim.
No. Cannot.
I can float and I can like not drown, I guess, but being in water where I can't touch the ground makes me extremely panicky. So I think that's why. It's not that I can, it's that I get scared too in water that's too deep.
I mean, that's understandable, especially if it's in water that's like you can't touch the ground.
Yeah. Or see the ground.
Or see the ground. I get that. I always think of like sharks.
Yeah, and sharks are literally my biggest fear. But I guess what I was saying is when I did this sinkhole, I had a life vest, and I didn't want to leave without saying that I did it, because there was literal like children jumping off this cliff. I'm like, if they can do it, I should be able to do it. And I was so scared. I only did it once, but I did have like a life jacket on, and then I jumped off, and it was so fun.
Yeah, no, it's cool to like do things that you normally can't, and then even if I think if it does have a little bit of a fear element to it, that's what makes it so rewarding when you actually do it.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah, so no, that was good that you're able to kind of experience those types of things.
Yeah, conquer my fear. Like I said, I only did it once because the second time around, it's like knowing what to expect made me even more scared.
I get that. Yeah.
So I was only able to do it that one time, but I would do it again, maybe.
I think you would. It's not that bad.
Is there anything that you want to do? Like, where's a place that you want to travel and experience something that you've seen there?
You know what? This is weird, but every time you see like running with the bulls in like Spain, that is, I don't think I'd actually do it, but it's intriguing again because there's a fear element to it. Like,
okay.
Yeah, a bull can do some serious damage, but
what do you mean
it's cool.
Running with the bulls?
Don't they do that in Spain where they just let the bulls run?
And you're like running away from them?
Oh, no. I'm thinking, no, I'm sorry. This is completely off base. I was thinking, and actually did a project on, we're going to
cut this out maybe?
No, we can leave it in there. Actually, why do I think that's a thing? Maybe it's not. But in Spain, they have like a big tomato fight.
Oh.
I thought Spain, and I think I just recently watched a video of some dude just getting bulldozed by a bull. But my uncle actually went to it. I remember doing an 8th grade project on like this whole Spain trip and throwing tomatoes at people and just being in a gigantic food fight. I don't think I've ever actually been in a food fight, but that would be awesome. And also terrifying too, because you're supposed to like mush the tomatoes, and some people just kind of throw them when they're hard, and that would hurt.
That would hurt.
So that's what I want to do, not running with the bulls, which now I'm trying to debate if that's a thing or not.
It might be.
I think it is.
But that sounds dangerous.
It does, and that's why like it's scary but also intriguing at the same time.
I was thinking like skydiving or something.
I don't know about skydiving.
No.
Not for me.
I think I was telling you once that my work is my boss, she's all about like finishing things on her bucket list. And she did skydiving. And she was saying how she would do a sponsored like skydiving trip with all of us if we really wanted to, which is like so cool, but no one was down except for me. So I wasn't going to push it like, we got to do it, guys, you know? No one else wanted to do it. Everyone was terrified. And I wanted to say I did it, even though I know I would be scared. Being high up was, I don't know, I've never been that high up, but I can just imagine how scary it must be to be up there. But I would do it. I want to say I've done it at least once in my life.
Maybe I'd do it. Like,
I'd do it before I have kids.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like even if you've ever been to Six Flags here in Illinois, like they have a giant drop ride where you just go up and drop. I hate that ride. I hate it. That's the one ride I will not get on. Only if I'm like forced to get on it, then I'll get on it. And so like the whole heights thing, I don't think I'm afraid of heights, but like jumping out of an airplane is a completely different beast. So
but that would be on your own terms. Six Flags, it's scary because they hold you up there, and it's like not knowing when it's gonna happen. Like the anticipation of it, I think is the part that's like sucks the most when it comes to that ride. Actually, it doesn't even feel good. That sucks.
That doesn't feel good.
That feeling of falling. But I've always heard people who skydive, once you get past that point of like the initial feeling of like the falling aspect, that it's very like peaceful. So
sure. Say so.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it one time.
Maybe
in our lives. Yes.
Maybe. We'll see. What else we got on your bucket list?
Honestly, I don't really have too much else that I wanted to go over. Maybe just briefly, we did get the opportunity to go to Hawaii this past year, and honestly, like just seeing everything that's been happening over there is so heartbreaking. I've just been like watching and keeping up, and it's honestly so sad. So just want to be very sensitive and like just thankful that we got to experience it, but I can't even imagine what people are going through over there and what they're feeling.
Yeah, no, I mean, seeing all those videos that were circulating, like it's eye-opening. It's terrible to see. It's so sad. But like you said, I mean, we were very fortunate to get to experience just the beauty that Kauai is. Just a beautiful island, and we would. Obviously,
the fires are happening in Maui.
Yeah, but
Hawaii as a whole is like obviously just devastated. So
for sure. But I mean, yeah, we did some really cool stuff there while we were there. Helicopters and ATVs, and
I was just telling you before this podcast, that's probably the coolest experience I've ever had in my whole life so far.
Yeah, I mean, being up there, seeing the island and seeing again how beautiful it is and how natural it still is. That's what the really cool thing about Kauai is, like a lot of it is so green and untouched. They had like their version of the Grand Canyon there too, so you see how it's made. And like I told you earlier before we started recording, like the ATVs were my favorite part. You get to see like landmarks where Jurassic Park was filmed and things like that. You get all muddy, and yeah, that was an amazing trip.
That was a really fun. That one was full of excursions. We did a lot on that trip. The boat. We're gonna have to share the boat. We're gonna have to share that one day. Maybe we can save that, or should we talk about it?
No, I mean we're talking about traveling. Like there are certain things that work out on excursions and stuff, and there are some things that maybe don't. But we did this boat ride, sunrise dinner, and before we went out onto the water, the captain was like kind of explaining what we were gonna encounter on this boat ride, where the waves were. We went and when did we go? It was
it February? No.
No, we went in like summertime, didn't we? Yeah, it was June.
It was?
Yeah, we definitely went in like.
Oh, just a couple months ago.
Yeah, we went.
Months ago?
I think so.
Know,
May or June. So that was an awesome experience because there were all these waves and stuff. So it was like a big roller coaster, and I love. Okay, we're gonna pick up. We were talking about the boat ride before. The camera battery, it died, and I just put a new one in there. They were charged, so I guess
we've been chatting away.
This traveling makes us, want to talk more. So to quickly wrap up that story, though, the captain was saying that there were these crazy waves that when we went, it was during summertime, May or June, I can't even remember right now, but it was like the waves were like winter storm waves, essentially is kind of how he put it. And so it was really rough. So when we were going out into the water, it was bumpy, like people were falling. Oh, go ahead.
I need to just like to clarify. So before you got on this boat, he said, guys, honestly, the weather is not the greatest right now.
That's
so
true.
If you want to, we can refund you the money, or we can reschedule you for a different boat ride. But he's like, if you're going on, like, this is going to be the most exciting boat ride you've ever been on in your life. And he said that, and I kind of thought about it. I was like, whoa, that's going to be kind of exciting, because we had no other choice. We were already there. We couldn't, like, really reschedule. I think that was on our last day. So it's like we might as well just do it. We're already here.
Yeah, and we did it, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, there were people who fell, which was not good. You felt bad for because you're in the boat, it's a little slippery, and these waves, they were something else. People threw up.
Hold on.
Didn't smell the greatest.
I feel like you have to just paint the picture a little bit better.
Okay.
So there's a boat, right, obviously, and then there's a section where you're sitting outside, and then there's a section that's you're kind of
inside the boat,
inside a little bit. Everyone still has a great view, but they said if you're someone who gets nauseous very easily, it's probably best that you sit outside because you get the fresh air and you don't feel it as much, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there were people who sat outside intentionally. We got a seat that was basically right at the edge of outside and inside. Yeah. So I think we had a pretty good spot, honestly. But with the waves, everyone who was sitting outside ended up getting soaked. Oh, that's right. Soaked.
Yeah.
And you think you're going on this nice dinner. People were dressed up,
wave, and like I said, inside the boat, throw up. So
and then the poor people on the inside. Everyone started off so excited, so great. By the end, well, not even by the end, still on our way to the destination before you start turning back around. Everyone looked so miserable. People were starting to ask how much longer. Mm-hmm. People were throwing up. The girls who were working on the boat that day were amazing.
Oh, they were awesome.
Amazing. Helping people.
Great balance too.
Oh yeah, I don't know how the heck they were balancing like that, but they were able to move people maybe to the outside if they saw them struggling. They were so amazing about the people who were getting sick on the boat. I'm sure they've seen it all, mm-hmm. so it was nothing to them. But I get so nauseous, 1, hearing it, 2, smelling it, and then 3, I also just get very seasick, nauseous. Yeah. So I was on that point where I was almost one of the people just needing a bag.
We asked for a bag, and thankfully you never had to actually use it. Yeah. But me there, I'm smiling like a little kid, we're going up and down like a roller coaster. So I had a great time. But yeah, that was definitely an experience there. And real quickly, I want to circle back. The running with the bulls is a thing. It does happen in Spain. So going back to things that I want to do, running with the bulls would be one of them.
Okay.
And also tomato fights. So I don't know why I didn't think that was a thing, because maybe it was too dangerous, but it actually is a thing. People are crazy, and I maybe one day would want to do
junkies.
That. Yeah. So running with the bulls, it's there.
Okay. Maybe one day.
You want to do skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spain's at the top. We have a few at the top, but honestly, I feel like I don't want to say it to jinx it. We don't really have anything planned as of right now, but for the most part, we do try to take at least one big trip per year.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we take smaller trips. Throughout the season. Again, I'll be in New Orleans, Los Angeles. If you want to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin, I don't know. Nobody would us. But yeah, so there are a couple trips. Hopefully we can make something happen there. And
yeah. And it's so nice because your work and my work are both so great about if you want to bring your significant other, take them. Mm-hmm. So you've been able to tag along to some of my work trips, and I know you just mentioned it not too long ago too, that your people that you work with are you could bring your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
so that's always amazing.
It is, and that's again very fortunate to do that. But we've also really enjoyed everywhere that we've went. But there's plenty more places to explore. So, like I said, in the comments after you watch or as you're listening, put down places you've been to, where you want to go, what your experience has been like, what you've learned from them, or whatever it may be. But I think it's a really important part of a relationship too, to not just stay in your own, a place that you're so used to. Go out and explore, whether it's, it doesn't even have to be that far, but just getting to experience new things. Mm-hmm. That's not the same thing that you get stuck in a routine.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. Yeah. And I feel like I'm more, I don't know, not maybe open to it or just wanting to do that, because it is awesome to get to experience different places, different cultures, different everything. Yeah. So it is something that I highly encourage to any couple that's looking to, maybe want to do something different. Traveling would be, up there on my list.
Honestly, traveling does make you closer, because especially when you're in some new place surrounded by even maybe a new language or whatever, mm-hmm. you really depend on each other to make your way around, and you have to trust each other a lot. So I love it. And I love that you're always down. You're always
Yeah,
down to go places. So
got to figure it out on the schedule, but got to do it.
All right. Love it. Can't wait for our next trip.
Me too. Everybody, thank you so much for watching episode number 4 of Couples Coverage. We love doing these. We look forward to recording night, recording day, whenever time we get a chance to get behind the mic, get in front of the camera, and share a couple of our stories. But again, you have to go like the podcast on Spotify, subscribe, share with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow our Instagram, TikTok accounts, all of our social media. We're going to continue growing this, putting more content out there, and again, sharing our experiences and our stories with you. But appreciate everybody. Have any last words, babe?
No, if you've listened all the way through and you're hearing this right now, please let me know where you want to go visit. I want to know, honestly.
Yeah, maybe it'll be on our list too. For places that.
Let us know where we should go.
Yeah, that too. Where should we go next?
Yes. And also just prayers for Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Maybe we're gonna link where you can donate.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
In the description. Okay.
That's a good way to end it.
All
Thanks,
right,
everybody. We'll see you next time.